Welcome to this explainer. So today we're looking at something that probably feels completely routine, completely ordinary to you, but actually hides a pretty terrifying reality. We're going to uncover the hidden cardiovascular dangers of our daily morning routines. Look, if you or someone you love is over the age of 60, you need to pay very close attention to what we're about to go through, because we are breaking down the 5 morning mistakes that literally stop hearts.
12. Just 12 minutes. That is exactly how long an experienced cardiologist's father was clinically dead. 12 minutes without oxygen, no pulse, lips turning blue. The paramedics were fighting desperately to restart his heart after he collapsed, which happened just 48 minutes after calling his son to complain about feeling dizzy and having a racing heart. And his son, a cardiologist with over 2,400 procedures under his belt, initially dismissed it. He really just thought it was nothing.
But it wasn't nothing. And you know what the absolute worst part of this whole ordeal is? It really boils down to 4 agonizing words. It was completely preventable. His father was making the exact same mistakes that millions of people, especially folks over 60, make every single morning. They wake up and just unknowingly play Russian roulette with their cardiovascular system. So let's look at exactly why the morning is so incredibly dangerous.
Section 1, the morning detonation.
Okay, to really grasp these fatal mistakes, we first have to understand the morning environment. When your eyes open, your body doesn't just gently flip on like a light switch, it detonates. In just those first 15 minutes of waking up, you're hit with this 15-minute perfect storm. Your stress hormone, cortisol, it spikes by 50 to 60%. You get this adrenaline surge that hits like a literal tsunami, throwing you right into fight or flight mode. Your blood pressure shoots up 10-20 points, and your blood vessels constrict with brutal force. Basically, your heart is instantly thrust into a state of absolute maximum stress. And then there's the other half of the problem. Think about it. After 8 hours of sleeping without a single drop of water, you're severely dehydrated. Normal blood flows easily, kind of like water. But morning blood? It becomes thick and viscous, a lot more like honey. So your poor heart is now trying to pump this thick sludge through violently constricted blood vessels. Now just imagine adding everyday behaviors that amplify this immense stress.
Which brings us right to mistake number 1, the sudden stand.
I mean, jumping out of bed the second your alarm goes off feels super efficient, right? It feels disciplined. But the reality is that 87% of people do this completely unaware that it is actually deadly. Here is the physics behind why. After 8 hours of lying completely flat, your blood is evenly distributed. But the absolute second you stand up, gravity pulls 1 full liter of blood straight down into your legs and abdomen. Suddenly, your heart has way less blood to pump up to your brain. And since your brain can't store oxygen, every second without blood flow kills brain cells. Now, in young people, pressure sensors catch this drop and speed up the heart. But after 60, those sensors start to slow down. They act a bit like smoke detectors with dying batteries. There's a lag. You might feel dizzy, your vision blurs, and in the worst cases, you just faint and collapse. When your body realizes it's failing, your nervous system essentially panics. It dumps this massive surge of adrenaline to jack your blood pressure back up, which triggers reflex tachycardia. That's your heart violently accelerating from idle to maximum RPM in mere seconds. Pumping against extreme pressure, this violent acceleration can trigger fatal arrhythmias, like ventricular fibrillation or even sudden cardiac arrest. You can quite literally be dead before you hit the floor.
All right, mistake number 2, the dehydration danger.
This particular danger happens when you reach for your phone or wander to the bathroom instead of immediately fixing your dehydration. The sheer scale of the risk here is terrifying. Heart attack risk spikes 40% in the morning. Stroke risk jumps 49%. And why is that? Because that thick, sticky morning blood we talked about causes your platelets to become a lot stickier. They start clumping together like magnets. If you have any existing damage in your coronary arteries, these sticky platelets just pile up and form deadly clots. This is quite literally how most heart attacks happen. Your overall blood volume decreases, but the red blood cells and platelets stay exactly the same, which basically turns your bloodstream into a hazard zone.
Moving on to mistake number 3, empty stomach coffee.
Look, I know we all love our morning coffee, but hitting your beloved morning ritual with a strong brew right after waking up on a completely empty stomach, it's a cardiovascular bomb disguised as a comforting routine. Honestly, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Caffeine is a powerful stimulant, and because you have absolutely no food in your system to slow down the absorption, it hits peak concentration in just 15 to 20 minutes instead of the usual 30 to 60. This triggers a caffeine shock.
It causes a massive release of adrenaline, narrows your blood vessels even further, and can actually spike your blood pressure 20 to 40 points within minutes. Remember, your heart is already redlining just from waking up. There are actual case studies showing patients suffering heart attacks within 30 minutes of this exact habit, all because the coffee acted as the trigger that caused unstable plaque to rupture.
Mistake number 4, the early workouts.
We pretty much all assume that morning exercise is incredibly healthy, right? Well, timing is critical. In those early hours, remember, your body has elevated cortisol, spiking adrenaline, high blood pressure, and thick, dehydrated blood. Forcing a biologically stressed body to do high-intensity interval training or heavy lifting is like asking a redlining engine to suddenly shift into an even higher gear. Your oxygen demand skyrockets to levels that just might be impossible to supply. For aging hearts, this triggers myocardial ischemia and sudden cardiovascular collapse. This is exactly how apparently healthy people just suddenly collapse in gyms. They are unknowingly stacking lethal risk factors.
And finally, mistake number 5, flying blind.
Flying blind means skipping your medical screenings and playing Russian roulette with silent plaque. You could be doing everything else perfectly, but if you don't know the actual state of your arteries, you're in grave danger. Most people have no idea they have coronary disease because there are often zero symptoms as plaque quietly built up over the years. Behaviors that are perfectly harmless in a healthy heart can be instantly fatal in a heart with hidden disease. So if you're over 60, you absolutely must get these essential screenings. Talk to your doctor. Ask for a coronary calcium score, an ECG stress test, and if you are at high risk, a CT angiography. Don't just guess about your heart. You need to know your numbers.
The life-saving playbook.
So, how do we fix all this? Let's walk through the exact morning routine you need to implement to prevent a tragedy. These are 5 simple steps you really must start doing tomorrow. Step 1, bedtime prep. Just put a glass of water on your nightstand tonight. Super easy. Step 2, stay down. When that alarm goes off, stay lying down for 30 to 60 seconds. Take 5 deep breaths to tell your body, hey, there's no emergency here. Step 3, the sit transition. Sit on the edge of the bed for another 60 seconds and move your ankles in circles to activate the muscle pumps in your calves. Step 4, hydrate first. Before coffee, before the bathroom, before you even look at your phone, drink 300 to 400 milliliters of room temperature water to dilute that thick morning blood. And finally, step 5, delay exercise. If you really want to work out, wait 2 to 3 hours, eat something light, and let your hormones normalize. Just give your heart 5 minutes of proper care when it needs it the most.
I want to leave you all with a final question today. Who in your life needs to hear this before tomorrow morning? Is it a parent, a spouse, maybe a friend? The thing is, most cardiologists are trained to treat disease, not prevent it. So please, share this explainer with anyone over 60 in your life, because you watching it just isn't enough. They need to see it too. And definitely make sure you join us for our next explainer, where we'll be revealing the one secret number on your blood test that actually predicts cardiac death years in advance, a number that most doctors don't even bother to check. Until then, put that glass of water on your nightstand tonight. Your heart will absolutely thank you.